Today, we are working with something called value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. And when we're working with our value, we are going to create a value landscape. Now, we know a landscape is anytime we draw or paint a picture of land. And we're doing this for our animals that we're going to create. So the first thing I want you to do is always write your first name, last name, and room number on the back of your paper. Once you've done that, we're going to draw our landscape out. And whenever you're drawing a landscape, the first thing I like to do is draw the horizon line. The horizon line is the line where the sky meets the ground. Now, in my picture, the sky is going to meet the ground at mountains. So I'm going to draw my mountains in, and I'm starting with those up at the top. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to draw 4 lines in your landscape. So I've drawn one. I'm going to draw another one that's kind of some more hills like this. I'm going to draw another one that's hilly, and then one last one. So you might notice I have divided my paper up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. I've done that by drawing 4 lines. And if you need to check our board and check the example so you can see, you can look up there and check. There are 4 lines that you're going to do. I'd like you to use pencil. I'm using a marker so you can see it on this video. I'm going to put my marker away. And when we're talking about values, what you're going to do is you're going to select one color for this. All right, so we're going to use one color plus black and white. So for mine, I'm going to select blue. Now, you might notice we're using tempera paint. The tempera paint is the paint that I have in the ice cube trays. So here's my ice cube tray full of tempera paint. Today, you're also going to need a mixing paper. This is brown paper that I have over at the supply table. This paper is great for mixing colors on, and you can throw it away when we're finished. You're going to need a paper towel to dry your paintbrush off and a cup of water. I'm going to have you start by getting some paint. Now, like I said, you're going to choose any color that you would like for yours. I'm choosing blue. And what you're going to do is you're going to, whatever color it is that you're using, you're going to paint that in the middle section. So I'm going to take my blue, and you might notice as I am painting, I'm holding my paintbrush just like a pencil. You get your very best control when you hold it like a pencil. And I am going to take my time and very carefully go ahead and paint this section in blue. Now, for our values, different values, what we're going to do is we're going to make our blue lighter going down, darker going up. So to make my blue lighter, I need to add white to it. When you add white to a color, that's called creating a tint. Tint is the word for when you add white. Notice I always wash my brush off and dry it before I dip into any other color. What I'd like you to do is start with white down here at the bottom, and you're just going to paint this in completely white. So that's easy to do. You're going to paint this in white. And then the section that's in between this white and my blue is I'm going to mix white and blue together to make a tint. And I'm going to put that inside. To do that, I'm going to bring over some white onto my mixing paper, and I'm going to mix in some blue. And you'll see when I mix that white and blue together, it makes a light blue or a tint of blue. This is a different value of blue. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Now, right now I'm working with tints, but on the top half, I'm going to work with shades. Shade is when you add black to a color. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my paintbrush off, and at the very top, I'm going to paint that black. So I'm going to clean that paintbrush off. I'm going to paint this black. And then what I'm going to do is after I paint this black, I'm going to mix my black, and I'll show you right here. I'm going to mix my black and blue together to create a shade of blue, and I'm going to paint it in here. Now I'm going to switch this out because I've already got one painted right here, and I want to show you the next steps. After this, you are going to have an opportunity to really make your artwork yours and your landscape yours. Now, I do want to let you know, if you want to add a pond down here, or I added some snow. Let me show you how I did it. Using a pencil, I dipped the eraser into the white paint and I dotted on some snow. That is super fun to do. Then I started adding trees. I thought it would be neat to add trees to my landscape. You can add any kind of tree that you would like. And I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. To add the tree, I'm going to use the teenager brush. Usually teenager or baby bear works really well for doing small details. I'm actually going to make my first tree white. And I'm going to make it an evergreen tree. And let me show you. To do that, that's super easy. You're just going to kind of paint little lines going down and out just like this. And that makes a really nice evergreen tree. I'm going to paint some other kinds of trees up top. Now, whenever you're painting a landscape, I want you to remember things that are closest to us are larger and things that are further away from us are smaller. So if I do a tree back here, I'm going to want it smaller than my tree up here. I'm going to go ahead and mix up a color here, and I'm going to put a tree right over here. And this tree is going to be a little bit different. It's going to have branches coming off just like this. I can't wait to see how you create your winter landscapes. Don't forget, you're going to fill that whole page with the different values of the color that you select. Have a great time.